Hey, what is up, obscure mic people? I've got a long one in the studio today that I can hold way back here and way away from me if I want to. We're down here like this. Hey, it's the Saramonic SR-HM7, and it is a long interview-style dynamic microphone that Saramonic sent over. Thank you guys for sending this over. They have been most gracious to your boy Bark here at Obscure Mics. But let's go ahead and take a look at the video and some B-roll, or the microphone, not the video, but both, but kind of the same thing. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. B-roll. All right, so the Saramonic SR-HM7 all comes in this nice cardboard box. Got some specs on the back here. Looks like a pretty solidly smooth frequency response for the most part. A little lift up top. In the box, you get the mic. That's literally it. A little bit of documentation. There's the microphone in all of its massive glory. All right, now that we got the B-roll out of the way, let's go ahead and start doing some testing on the microphone, and we'll add some processing, everything running through the Behringer UV1, the official interface that's not official and I'm not paid to use for Obscure Mics, but it's a nice little device, so we're going to use it. Here we go. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Now let's get right on top of the mic so you can hear what it sounds like when you are very, very close and on top of this sweet beauty. Yes, let's go ahead and do some off-axis rejection, talking in the front of the mic, and there is a heater on in the background, just so you know. And here we go with 90 degrees. Look at that off-axis rejection. 180 degrees on the long microphone, and then 90 degrees again. And then back around to the front of the microphone. There we go. Have you ever had anything long like that just coming at your face hole like that? I have not until now. It's a long one. That's what she said. Let's do some handling noise. Not too shabby, not great either. There was definitely some noise coming through the headphones for me. Let's talk about what this mic is for. I personally used this mic on an episode of An American and a Canadian Walk Into a Podcast. I believe it was episode 3 or 4. I'll find out for sure and put the link in the script. When I mess up, I skeet and I scat. I did that. I'll put the link to that episode in the notes down there in this video. Yeah. So what do I think about this microphone? I know on the episode of An American and a Canadian Walk Into a Podcast that I do with my boy Marty, it sounded pretty good. The episode came out really well, and I was quite impressed by how this sounded for that, because it is pretty clear and you can really make out what is being said on the podcast. So I was pretty happy and impressed with that. Honestly, there's some microphones out there that I don't feel even need post-processing, or need very, very little post-processing. This is one of those microphones to me. It's not perfect by any means, but it just doesn't need a lot to sound good enough, and I'm pretty happy and impressed with this microphone. I could put a link in. You could go grab it. Wow, you can get this on Amazon for $45.99. $45.99. There's some $39.99 with a shotgun mount bracket. $40 to $46 for this microphone. Honestly, I think it's worth it for that. If you don't want to do processing and you're doing a podcast and you just want to be heard clearly and without an offensive sound, not too much sizzle on top. There's a little bit, but this is going to do the job for some podcasting, and it's going to double as a nice interview mic if you do like to walk around with a plug-on recorder like the Saramonic plug-on recorder and just interview people. Like, you got the long handle. You could also be Gandalf the Wizard with this thing. You shall not pass. You can play the flute on this thing. Or is that a piccolo or a recorder? You can whack someone caveman style. You can pretend it's a penis. There's so many things you can do with this microphone. You can wear it like a mustache. Maybe an earring. There's so much. It's just so much you can do. You could make it look like you've been impaled. You can wear it as a headdress. You could play guitar. You can play drums. I digress. There's a lot of things, a lot of useful use cases. Useful use cases. There's a lot of things you can do with this microphone. I'm just going to leave it at that. But Saramonic sent over, quite frankly, one that at 46 or $40, man, those are good prices. They sent over one that I think I'd rather just keep and use as an interview mic when I go places. There's places I go sometimes that I like to do the whole, what do you think about all this stuff going on? And this is a nice solution for that. And I have a plug-on recorder, so kind of like this one. I think I'm going to keep it just as a long form, just as something long to keep in my mic bag. I dig it. So if you want it, link down below. Great price. Saramonic, thanks for sending it over. Think it's a nice quality long piece. That's what she said. And I'm out. Bark, Obscure Mics. Peace out.